Hey John, let's get into this workout real quick. I must say, I'm liking your squats a whole lot better. You're doing a great job of getting the knees set really early. You're doing a great job of getting the hips back really early. That's usually the part everyone has the hardest time with. These look pretty grindy, but they also look really put together, if that makes sense. The knees aren't pulling back or anything like that. Looks like you're pretty mid-foot, although I can't see your feet very well. That all looked really great, man. Hard to complain about anything there. I'd like to see a shot from the side to see. It looks like you might be getting a little forward on your ascent just because your back is going into a little bit of flexion. So if we could get a shot from the side just to confirm that, make sure that we keep going with the back as a solid steel rod cue. Keep trying to tie your shoulder blades to your buttocks, and particularly in uh, uh, please. The bottom position right here. Notice this, right? Fast or rewind. Your back angle is set here, okay? So the goal would be for this and this to be the final resting spot of the knees and the back angle, right? You're sort of coming down, your back angle's set, your knees are set. All that should happen from here until depth is that the hips should drop. See what just happened there? The back angle shifted more, right? That is the thing that is making these a lot harder than they might otherwise be, and that is the thing that we would do best to correct. Now, because I can't see your feet, I can't tell you whether that's because you weren't bent over enough in the first place, or whether it's just extra bending over that we didn't need to do. Your back angle doesn't change a lot, so it might be that we just needed to be there in the first place. But a shot from the side, ideally something at a little higher angle where I could see your feet, is going to tell me all that. If you can get that to me, awesome. If not, then just a shot from the side is perfect. Thank you so much for that. These bench presses have been a pleasure to watch, I must say. Cool. So the first thing I'm seeing here, we are seeing a little bit of wobble. The first thing I'm seeing here is this wrist. That is definitely a little more extended than we want to see. Ideally, we'd like to see the top knuckles, the proximal knuckle, a little closer to the ceiling, right? So as if you were punching the sky. And then you see that that's going to cause problems down the line. I'm not quite convinced that this elbow flare, which is the reason this bar path is a little wonky. I'm not convinced that that's not because the wrists are extended. You're going to see that a lot of times, that the elbows have to pull back because the wrists, or if the wrists are extended. Yeah. I would say that that's your number one fix, is just make sure that we get the wrists nice and tight. Let's see how they were on the first rep. They were already pretty extended. Looked like we might even be grabbing the bar a little bit in the fingers. Make sure we pull those up to the ceiling, get those nice and tight, and everything will be able to stay a little tighter from that. And that will mean that these benches will continue to go up. Glad the hip's feeling better too. That's really, really good. Yeah, I just commenting on the left thumb thing. I chronically pick at my cuticles and stuff like that. It's a nasty habit. Don't ever do it. But it I bought the Lift Genie Ollie lifting tape. I don't know if that's the one that you got, but that is definitely the best one that I can say I've ever used. And boy, oh boy, is it just magic. My fingers don't even hurt during the deadlift with hook grip. It's crazy. Sorry if you can hear the cat. That's exactly what we want to see. Feet are flat on the floor. Setting up in the same position every time. I might say that bar was a little too far back, but it doesn't look like it from the feet. Yeah, that one was a little too far back. We dropped our hips and got on our heels just a teensy bit too much. You could barely notice it, but all the others were really good. So you see, if we had stopped right there, the pull would have been just exactly perfect. If we had just been able to straighten up our back, or even if we had just pulled there, that's pretty good extension for a 5th rep of a heavy set. You would have been just perfect. But you see, you pull back just a little more. You can even see the toes coming up off the ground a little bit. And so you see the knees pull back early. You see the system shift back, toes coming up a little more. And then at the top, you kind of pull your chest up and correct for it. But other than that, these are really, really pretty. I have very little to say about it. I'm glad your thumbs are feeling better. And I am super glad that your hip is not hurting anymore. Seems like the week off really helped out. So let me know if you have any questions about any of that stuff. Once again, just to recap, we want to keep the wrists extended on the bench press. We want to make sure that the back angle is set early on in the squat and doesn't change later on at the closer to the bottom, that bottom third. And the deadlifts, just watch your hips drop in, watch yourself pulling back onto the heels when you get tired. Otherwise, really great job on these, man. Excellent job. You will hear from me soon, John. Thanks so much.